Open sesame. Alright, it's your boy Chosen, man. Like, subscribe, enjoy the reaction. But it's a review. It's the most honest reviewer out in anime. People be capping. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Let's get to it. Flames, let's talk about it, man. Mashle, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was worried about the anime. So when I seen the trailer, I know a lot of people hyped it up. Like the next Mob Psycho, the next One Punch Man type comedies, funny overpowerness. I didn't have a lot of high hopes for it. It even took. I didn't watch it until I didn't binge watch it until the end of the season. Binge watched it. Was shocked. I was shocked. It was kind of funny. I'm gonna be honest. It was kind of funny to me. Flameser, how you feel? Flameser, let me know. How do you feel about that? I felt like Mashle was just smooth to me, not this next big anime. I think that's the problem too. Like when you hype something up to be like One Punch Man, like One Punch Man season one was like hilariously over the top comedy, like hilarious over the top comedy. And if we even talk about Mob Psycho, like I don't think Mob Psycho matched the comedy wave of One Punch Man, but it was still very funny. And the fight scenes were on par. Like the fight scenes in season one of Mob Psycho were like ridiculously fire. Like they were absurdly like great animated. Um, so if I compare it to One Punch Man and Mob Psycho, fight scenes nowhere near that. They're nowhere near that good. 100%. And I know why One Punch Man's fight scenes were that good. Actually, they actually took a pay cut and they did it as favors actually to somebody. So the fight scenes are nowhere as good. It was smooth. See, it's a very smooth anime. I personally would give it like an 8. I wouldn't give it a 9 or a 10. It's an 8 anime. It does get the job done. The dude's funny. It actually had me laughing. And I'll be honest, like, especially coming from the West, like a lot of anime culture that like, oh, this is a comedy anime. You'll find this funny. I'm like, this is not funny. Like, at all. Like he's super strong, guys. Like bro, he outswims a shark, which is the funniest thing. Like there's a giant like carrot that gets evil and he just slaps him. Like it was that was actually funny when he slapped the dude. He is charismatic. And they keep it simple. And I do appreciate that of this anime. The anime very keeps it simple. Flames, are there any holes in it to you? Let me know. The anime keeps it very simple. Gets to the point. Has its serious moments, which I think is very hard for an anime that is a little bit of a parody. Is that it has like actual serious moments, and it does very well keeping those serious moments and still having a darker tone. Like there's dark moments, like for instance, like there's not purple blood, i.e., Seven Deadly Sins, and that is appreciative. I think they do that transition well from comedy to seriousness to back to comedy to seriousness again. And he has a serious tone about him, right? And he has like this glare, and he just looks at people very mad. He's not like an idiot either. I'll say that too. He's not like super naive to the world. So it's not like, which is interesting too, because he's basically raised in a country not around people, just with his quote unquote grandpa who raises him. But he's not naive to the world, so people aren't able to take super advantage of him. Which is appreciative because I thought that would be something that I would like kind of be like, oh, like he's just gonna be this complete idiot that is just super strong and he's always lost about everything. And they didn't do that. Manga readers hype this up way too much to me though. I think that's the unfair treatment that hype gets. Like you can't start you can compare this to One Punch Man season one. Like One Punch Man season one is like one of the greatest season ones in anime history. Um, and Mob Psychos is pretty good as well. So you can compare it to something like that. I think the magic scene in anime, the magic genre is still, even though there's been a lot of magic animes, I think it's still a place where it's still missing that classic anime to really take the reins over. I think Magi had the best hype back in the day, but Magi hasn't been seen since the Aladdin thing, the Netflix original. My fault, Aladdin. I hope I said his name right. Like I said, Flames, let me know if you had any problems with the anime. But overall, like I said, it's a very smooth anime. Story is simple, gets to the point. There's no real annoying characters, in my opinion. There's not really annoying characters. Um, it's just funny. No real annoying characters. The only thing I will say about this anime is that there's not like just an evil person throughout season one, which is like there's always like a redeeming quality. Like, oh, this is why they were mean. Like, oh, this is why they're bad. Like, there's not just a character that's like, no, he's a dick and he's terrible. You kind of meet that person at the end of the anime, but overall, it's like a big like they were just always misunderstood and there was something sad about them. So if you like anime to where, yo, bro, I just miss it back in the day where like bro was just evil to be evil. Like there's not like a Frieza. Okay, there's not a if y'all remember Broly back in the '90s, just a complete savage. Like no, just like in Dragon Ball Z now, like how the new Broly movie, like Broly is this misunderstood guy. Like all the villains are like basically misunderstood people. They're not actually bad people. So that's kind of the only part where I'm like if you kind of like to just, I like people to just be evil. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of this PG-13 life. Um, which I think for this show did well, but I overall don't like that trope of like there's always a, oh well, he's just misunderstood and he just made a mistake and he's never too late to be shaved. Like my nigga, bro, what happened to bro just being a bad guy? Like there's certain people in life that's just bad guy, i.e. old school Dragon Ball Z Frieza. Okay, like Orochimaru and Naruto. Like Orochimaru was just a dick. Okay, like there's no, oh, Orochimaru was misunderstood. Like no, nigga was always off. Okay, something was wrong with bro. Okay, you know what I mean? Like what happened to that? Okay. Flames just said I didn't really mess with the characters. In my opinion, they need to explain his airheadedness. My opinion, how the F does Mashle don't remember how to open doors correctly. If they explain is because something happened to him when he was mine, he lost his magic, etc. etc. Cool, but they never explain nothing. That is where I will counter you, bro. And I'll just say I just feel like they were just trying to just be like keep everything extremely simple, and they were trying to go this like extreme comedic. I think that was kind of like the comedic route, for comedy. Uh, and I think that was cool for them not taking it that serious. But I think it's just cool. I think you nailed it on. I've nailed it, like nailed it on the head right there. Like it's just a cool anime, like a nice little 12 episode one. You can watch, have fun with it. I don't think it deserved the. It was a little too simple for me. Same with the side characters. That's fair. That's fair. Like Flames just said, y'all, it's a simple anime. It's not like One Punch Man. And I'm gonna say it again. They have to stop hyping anime up. Like manga readers, stop hyping stuff up to these absurd lengths. Because when especially me and my stream, and we are, like I said, I think we're the most honest reviewers out. When we start criticizing these animes and nitpicking and attacking it because you're comparing it to these highest expectations, we're gonna kill it. Right? I notoriously have killed Chainsaw Man. People are like, why do you say Chainsaw Man season 1 was bad? I say the pacing was bad. You had us, we couldn't care about any character. I couldn't care about anybody. And if you watch Chainsaw Man, the people that quote unquote die, you didn't even really care because you didn't even really like them. Right? So, but back to Mashle, it's a simple anime. Um, a lot of them can't fight. I think the fight scenes aren't that good. I would say that, especially with it to be hyped up next to Mob Psycho and One Punch Man. The thing about One Punch Man was the fight scenes were always amazing. That's probably the biggest letdown for him. Actually, is that the fight scenes aren't that good. And the villains. Oh, I just found a nitpick. Actually, wow, this is crazy that my review is getting a bit longer. But is if I'm comparing it to One Punch Man, is the villains aren't like ridiculously strong, and he beats them, and it's like funny. It's more like they're kind of sorry, but he's still amazing, but they're actually kind of sorry. Like in the end, there's only like two villains that you're like, oh no, they're like super overpowered and they're super strong, and he beats them, which is funny. But when you like watch the anime, like the characters aren't that strong. You're like, bro, they're not that. Like, one dude just throws a giant shuriken, right? Like in Naruto, he just throws a magical shuriken that comes back, and you're like, nigga, is that Captain Boomerang? Like, is that Captain Boomerang from Flash? Like, what is that's his thing? Like, he has magic. Uh, Weeb, what's going on? Weeb ain't been in here for a minute. We just reviewing Mashle. But yeah, that's probably my nitpick. It's not the villains aren't as overpoweredly strong as they were in Mob Psycho and One Punch Man. Even though Mashle is still overpowered, but the villains themselves aren't as cool. So that kind of makes his overpowerness not as cool to an extent, like when One Punch Man did it, like when Mob Psycho does it. You kind of looking like they're kind of sorry themselves, like But overall, like I said, I give it 8 out of 10. Just a cool anime. If you want to watch a good, nice little 12 episode one, I had this as for me of the season. I didn't watch Dr. Stone, so I don't have Dr. Stone in my ranking, but I would say this is probably like the second anime of the season for me. I had number one being Hell's Paradise. But yeah, it's your boy Chosen. Says for me to follow you, so I gotta refollow. Dang, bro, been going for so long, he gotta refollow me. That's crazy. Shout out Weeb. But yeah, no, put down in the comments. Uh, how did y'all feel about this anime? Where do y'all rank it? Did it live up to the hype? This was an extremely hyped anime. I want to make this clear. Extremely hyped anime. It's supposed to be like the Harry Potter of the anime world. I think the comedy was good, but I think it's just a cool anime. It doesn't leave you with, oh, this is amazing. It has a cult following. It's like, it's cool. It's cool. Like I would watch season 2, 100%. But yeah, man, it's your boy Chosen. Like and subscribe, enjoy my reactions, my reviews. How do y'all feel about this anime? Let me know, man. It's your boy Chosen. I'm out. Yeah, just not the next big thing for sure. Weave coming in.